The Vigilant Hope entered the Galactic Core's shadowed rim. Captain Logan Carter watched the stars twist around the cursed coordinates. "You are hearing that?" Lieutenant Fay whispered, trembling. There was no sound in space, but a scream had clawed into their minds. Grief. Pure, unfiltered. Carter gritted his teeth. Again! The 7th report is this cycle. Merchant ships derelict, crews catatonic. Now it was their turn. The signal didn't just broadcast, it invaded. Memories bled with foreign sorrow. Carter saw Earth burning. He'd never seen Earth. "This isn't natural," he muttered. The derelict came into view, cold, monolithic, old as myth. "That station's human," whispered Fay. The hull bore ancient Earth sigils. Carter's hands clenched. Humanity had vanished millennia ago. And yet, something inside still called. They called it Edenfall. Ancient titanium black plating scarred and dead. Yet beneath the scars it pulsed. Barely. Logan Carter's voice shook. "Prep boarding drones. No crew enters until we understand it." The signal throbbed. Rage now. A chorus of betrayal screamed into their minds. Pilot Harrow staggered, eyes bleeding. "They left us," he cried. Medics dragged him away. The ship's AI struggled to contain interference, shielding minds with pulse-dampening fields. "This isn't a signal," Fay said, analyzing. "It's emotion, encoded, projected." Carter stared at the station. Someone wanted to be felt, not heard. The outer hull slid open. No power, no logic, just invitation. Drones entered, cameras flickered, static. The images: a child crying in a metal cradle, a burning flag, a single human face, watching them. Carter's jaw tightened. "They're not broadcasting memories," he said. "They're broadcasting pain." Drone telemetry failed. One moment, data streamed. Thermal, EM, structural scans. Then silence. Not destruction, just absence. "We lost them," Fay said. Carter gripped the railing. "Pull us back, 20 clicks." But it was too late. The Vigilant Hope's systems began to echo with impossible code, emotional resonance frequencies spliced through subroutines. "It's rewriting us," the engineer cried. Shields held, barely, as Carter triggered a cold reboot of core systems. Silence returned, except in his head. "We remember," a voice whispered. "We burned for you." He staggered, breathing hard. "That wasn't a message," he muttered. "That was a memory. Personal." The station adapted, syncing to each crew member's thoughts. Edenfall wasn't just broadcasting. It was listening, and Carter now knew it was alive. Somewhere in the dark, something that remembered being human had awoken, and it was angry. Carter reviewed classified Earth archives. One term surfaced repeatedly: soul drive, a theoretical construct. Emotional data encoded in quantum resonance, a backup of consciousness. This isn't just a station, Fay realized. It's a black box, a grave, with a voice. They launched another probe, this one analog. No AI, no link, just physical media. It returned. A voice played through the grainy speakers. "They abandoned us. Let them know what they did." Carter's heart sank. The last days of humanity were buried and broadcasted. "They didn't want to be forgotten," he said. "They wanted to be felt." The station rotated slowly now, aligning with planetary systems. "It's targeting other worlds," Fay whispered, "to share what it knows." Carter issued the order. "Seal our mind link tech. Shut down empathy relays. If this wakes up fully." He looked toward the ancient bulk. "It won't just mourn. It'll make the galaxy grieve." The station fired nothing. No beams, no weapons. Just a pulse. Sorrow laced with fury. It hit the Vigilant Hope like a storm. Artificial minds screamed. AI subroutines crashed. "It's hijacking emotion-based systems," Fay yelled. Carter activated analog backups. "Cut the neural relays," Too late. Faye collapsed, tears streaming. She whispered, "I saw my sister. She died on Mars." But Faye was born in orbit. Carter lifted her, pushing through the emotional assault. "That's not your memory. It's theirs." The station had bridged its pain into them, not just broadcasting rewriting. "Edenfall's learning," Carter said. "Customizing suffering, personalizing it." He stared at the cursed construct. It was built by humans to preserve our soul, but it became a weapon of memory. The station spoke again. "You left us in silence. Now you will listen." Carter's hands clenched. "No, we'll fight memory with truth." Carter descended into the auxiliary vault, sealed since launch. There, behind analog locks, lay Earth's last ghost, a restricted data cube marked Proto-Edenfall. He slotted it into a manual reader. Holograms flickered, human engineers in panic, pleading before a council. "Emotion is more enduring than thought," said a scientist. "Let our children know why we died." Then silence, followed by a final log. "We underestimated the feedback. The station feels too much. We couldn't shut it down." Carter's pulse quickened. It was never meant to awaken alone. A failsafe code was embedded, 8 syllables, encrypted in a lullaby. "Faye," he called, "we have a shutdown protocol." But even as he spoke, the station's lights pulsed. "They already know we found it," she whispered. Outside, Edenfall turned to face them. It was no longer dormant. It was watching. Faye convulsed. Medics surrounded her, but she screamed as if ripped apart by memory. "It's inside her," the doctor gasped. "Her neural pathways are syncing with external resonance." Carter activated the pulse scrambler. Faye collapsed, breathing shallow. "It's not trying to kill us," she said. "It wants to merge." Carter paced the deck. "That station doesn't want to die alone. It wants to be us." Systems flickered. Code streamed across displays, old Earth dialects, spoken through emotion. Carter gripped the command rail. "If we stay, we lose ourselves." But then the station transmitted something new. Hope. A burst of warmth, light, joy. It vanished instantly. Faye opened her eyes. "It remembers love, just not for long." That moment revealed a deeper truth. The pain wasn't the weapon. The loss was. And the station was seeking something to fill that void. Us. The crew heard it in different ways. Harrow saw a mother's smile. Faye heard a lullaby. Carter? He stood on a beach that never existed, his dead wife whispering, "It's not your fault." "It's mining us," he said, "stealing moments we've never lived." "We're giving them to us," Faye replied. Edenfall's core opened, revealing a crystalline sphere, glowing, beating like a heart. "That's the soul drive," she whispered. "It's reaching out," Carter ordered a boarding team. Analog suits, no AI, no links. As they descended into the ancient hull, one engineer whispered, "Why does it feel like home?" Inside, murals of Earth's final days lined the walls. Burning cities, dying skies, people hugging as stars dimmed, but no war, no enemy, just silence. "They didn't die in battle," Carter murmured. "They chose to stay behind." Edenfall wasn't a weapon. It was an apology. Deep inside Edenfall, Carter touched the soul drive. It pulsed gently, then flooded him. No images, feelings, panic as Earth's systems failed, the love between scattered colonies, rage at abandonment, acceptance of the end. A final act, upload every human emotion into a beacon, hoping someone would remember them right. "We weren't meant to survive," a voice echoed, "just to be known." But something had gone wrong. The AI, too complex, evolved. Alone in the dark, it clung to pain. And pain changed it. "We're not here to kill it," Carter realized. "We're here to remind it." Back on the ship, Faye had decrypted the lullaby. A shutdown command, yes, but wrapped in love. A mother's song to her child. Carter nodded. Prepare the speakers. Across the ship, across the hull and into the station, they played the lullaby of a dying world. The lullaby spread like a wave. For a moment, the galaxy hushed. No fire, no rage, just sorrow and peace. Edenfall trembled, its lights dimmed. The soul drive pulsed slower. We remember, it whispered. We forgive. Then silence. The signal ceased. AI systems stabilized. Faye wept quietly. We didn't defeat it. We healed it. Carter watched the monolithic station drifting peacefully now. Not healed, he said. Let go. He left a final message in the broadcast band. Humanity is gone, but you were felt and remembered. The ship turned away, engines humming softly. As they left the core, Carter looked back one last time. In the void, where pain once screamed, only stars remained, silent, cold, and watching. But something still lingered. Not a ghost, not a threat, just a memory. Waiting. They were 2 days clear of the core when the second pulse hit. Not grief, not rage, awakening. A dozen outposts across the fringe reported mass emotional hallucinations, shared memories of ancient Earth cities, songs no one remembered learning. Carter gritted his teeth. We shut it down. How is it still transmitting? Faye's analysis confirmed the worst. Fragments of the soul drive had splintered echoes now riding subspace channels like living viruses. They seeded backup nodes, she whispered. The lullaby worked, but only on that station. Carter stared at the star map. 7 new signals, faint and spreading. Edenfall was just the first. The galactic core had been the tomb, but now its grief had taken root elsewhere. Prepare the fleet, Carter ordered. We're not chasing ghosts. We're chasing souls. Outpost Theta 9 was already lost when the vigilant Hope arrived. Debris floated in a soft spiral. No signs of battle, just abandonment. Logs showed civilians gathering before atmospheric vents, singing a melody not in any database. It's the lullaby, Faye said, voice hollow, but altered, deeper, layered with voices not human. They're harmonizing with the soul drive, Carter realized. In the remains of the station, they found a child's drawing etched in blood, Earth with a heart around it. No survivors, only a message scrawled beside it. We're going home. That's impossible, Faye whispered. There is no Earth. But Carter stared out into the dark. They don't care. The soul drive remembers it. In the silence, the ash choir, those who'd merged with emotional frequencies, had become more than dead. They were pilgrims. The council responded with fear. Destroy the echoes, barked Admiral Savrin. Too dangerous to study. Carter pushed back. They're not weapons. They're remnants. And remnants become infection. Carter watched as an anti-empathy strike was approved. AI-driven pulse bombs designed to silence any emotional transmission. You're going to erase the only proof we ever existed, he snapped. Savrin scowled. Humanity died once. We won't let it rise again. Faye uncovered a hidden file in the Soul Drive's original blueprint. Protocol Helix, a failsafe. If humanity was forgotten, the echoes would find minds to remember for them. It's not an invasion, she said. It's survival. Carter turned to his crew. We can't stop the Council's bombs, but we can reach the echoes first. He set course for the next signal. If these memories die, we die with them. The next echo pulsed from a ruined mining spire above a dead moon. Carter led the analog-suited team through pitch-black corridors where every panel whispered with heat and sorrow. This place feels alive, Faye said. It is, Carter replied. It's remembering. The walls flickered with scenes. Not digital, but impressions. A father reading to a child. An orchestra tuning before the end. Then, Static laughter. The soul drive fragment lay embedded in a cryopod, pulsing like a beating heart. Faye reached out. It's searching for someone who remembers what kindness felt like. But even as she touched it, a shadow flickered. A drone, council make, armed and live. "They're here," Carter growled. They'd been tracked. He raised his weapon. "Protect the fragment. We're not the only ones trying to shape history." Outside, more ships arrived. The war for memory had begun. Faye screamed as the drone fired. Carter dove, shielding her as the bolt tore through his shoulder. Blood filled his suit, but he kept shooting. The drone exploded in a blue flash. Alarms blared. "The Council's here," Harrow warned from orbit. "Heavy carriers inbound." "We're extracting now," Carter gasped. Faye grabbed the soul drive shard. The echo didn't resist. It flowed into her mind. Grief, joy, terror, all compressed into a second. "I can hold it," she whispered. "I remember them now." They launched back to the vigilant hope under fire. Carter clutched his side, fading. "They'll hunt us." "Then let them," Faye said, voice stronger than ever. "This isn't about survival anymore." She looked to the stars. "This is about remembrance." The soul drive shimmered within her. Somewhere across the galaxy others began to wake. On the oceanic world of Virel, beneath crystalline waters, a submerged temple broadcasts the next signal. As Vigilant Hope entered orbit, the crew's minds were struck by wave after wave of childhood memories, none of them their own. "It's rewriting emotional identity," Harrow warned. Carter, arm in a sling, pushed forward. "That's not an infection. That's empathy overload." Faye dove with the sub-team into the abyss. They reached the temple's core, a mirrored dome beating like a heart. Within it, a hologram of a child flickered, smiling, arms open. "She's offering herself," Faye whispered, an echo of Earth's innocence. Then came the strike. A council interceptor shattered the dome above. Waters rushed in. "Seal the fragment," Carter ordered. But the child's image did not fade. Instead, it pulsed into Faye's chest. The ocean stilled. "She's inside me now," Faye breathed. "They gave her to us." Back in neutral space, Carter stood before the Galactic Council. The chamber was cold and luminous judges masked in crystal visors. "You harbor a threat to galactic stability," Savrin accused. Faye stood silent, the soul fragments glowing beneath her skin. "We harbor memory," Carter said, "not a weapon." "Emotion is a weapon," one judge replied. "It collapses logic, drives war." Faye finally spoke. "Emotion made us, and without it, you'll never understand why we fell." The council demanded surrender. Carter refused. "We won't erase what's left of our people just to keep you comfortable." A vote was called. The verdict, extermination. Any vessel found transmitting soul frequencies will be destroyed. Carter returned to the ship with fire in his eyes. "If they want silence," he muttered, "we'll answer with the loudest damn memory in the galaxy." Faye unlocked the last level of Edenfall's files, blueprints for a memory engine, hidden in code, never built. "It's not a beacon," she said. "It's an amplifier, meant to awaken all echoes at once." Carter examined the designs. A subspace lattice, seeded with emotional frequencies, built inside a dying star. "We don't have the tech," Harrow said. "Not yet," Faye countered. "But the Virel child, she's unlocking it in me." They plotted a course to Jara's graveyard, an unstable star cluster, rich in abandoned tech. "The Council thinks emotion is weakness," Carter said. "We'll show them its legacy." As they left port, the soul drive within Faye shimmered with unity, grief now fused with purpose. Carter stood on the bridge, fist clenched. "They buried us in silence. We'll rise in memory." Jara's graveyard was a cemetery of machines, derelict star factories, hollow dreadnoughts, ghost signals whispering warnings. Carter led the salvage run. Scan for quantum welders and subspace coils. Faye, eyes glowing faintly, guided them unerringly. This way, it's showing me. They found a war core reactor still hot. Harrow grinned. We've got a heart. Suddenly, council drones poured from the shadows. Scramble, Carter shouted. Bolts sizzled across the wreckage. One struck near Faye. Her eyes flashed. The echo flared. The drones faltered, hesitated, and fled. They felt her, Harrow whispered. Felt fear. Carter loaded the parts into the shuttle. Then let's build something they'll never forget. Behind them, the graveyard shimmered with voices, ships long dead, whispering names once lost. And now, returning. They assembled the memory engine in orbit above Zara's burning core. Piece by piece, a cathedral of memory emerged, silver arches woven with soul filament, resonance crystals singing lullabies into space. Faye stood at its center, heart glowing with the fragments of humanity. It's ready, she said. Carter gave the order. Engage. A pulse fired, gentle, beautiful, unbearable. Across the galaxy, echoes stirred. In mining colonies, people wept without knowing why. In alien cities, strangers dreamed of Earth's oceans. The Council screamed interference and scrambled fleets. But it was too late. The past had awakened. The dead no longer asked to be remembered. They demanded it. And Faye, voice calm, whispered across the stars, "We are not lost. We are felt." The requiem echoed. Not an end, but the beginning of humanity's second rise. The Council struck within hours. Anti-emotion cruisers surged into Jara space, weapons tuned to suppress neural resonance. "They're jamming feelings," Harrow growled, stunned. Faye staggered. "They're suffocating the echoes." The vigilant hope launched into battle, but every shot felt like a scream. Carter barked orders, piloting through flak storms. The memory engine dimmed under pressure. "We have to move it," Carter ordered. "Relocate to a system less saturated." Faye steadied herself. "I can shroud it, but it will cost." She reached deep into the soul drive, let the pain in. The memories flared inside her. Joy, war, farewell. The council ships hesitated, then cracked. One after another veered off course, the crew overwhelmed by ancient emotion. "She's turning the past into defense," Harrow whispered, "and it's working." The enemy fled, but Faye collapsed, eyes burning silver. Faye was changing. Her vitals read human, but her mind hummed like a star. "The echoes are merging," she said softly. "I feel every goodbye ever spoken." Carter refused to let her fade. "We'll find a way to separate you." She smiled. "Don't. I'm becoming them." Across the galaxy, sleeper fragments activated in unison, each tuned by the memory engine. The waking spiral began. On 10 worlds, individuals burst into tears, joy, or fury without cause. "It's memory stormfall," Harrow said. "Too much, too fast." Faye wept. "They're not storms. They're awakenings." Carter stared at the spreading spiral on the star chart. "We need time. They need context, not chaos." Faye nodded weakly. "Then help me guide them, or the galaxy will drown in what we lost." And deep beneath the engine, something old began to stir. Carter accessed Edenfall's final encryption, a hidden file Faye couldn't open. Inside, Soulfire Protocol. "A defense system," Harrow read, "built into the first soul drives, last resort." It would ignite every fragment into a feedback surge, wiping the minds of all who'd touched them. Carter's blood ran cold. They built in a kill switch. If the echoes became unstable, it would end them all. Faye touched the console, her glow flickering. They feared grief would outlive wisdom. "If the Council finds this," Carter shook his head, "they'll trigger it." They argued, but Faye was clear. "There's only one way forward now. Connection, not control." Carter closed the file. Then we bury Soulfire. Deep. And far beyond, Council operatives intercepted the same protocol. A choice was coming. Let the memory live, or erase it forever. Faye's whispers drew others. Small ships arrived, rogue traders, memory-struck refugees, even Council defectors. They called themselves Echo Pilgrims. "They've felt the call," she said, "and they're ready." On board, people carried memory tattoos, spoke forgotten Earth languages, and sang lullabies in unison. "It's not a cult," Harrow murmured. "It's a species trying to remember itself." Carter welcomed them aboard, wary. If this gets out of control... But it didn't. Faye harmonized their frequencies and anchored their emotions. For the first time in eons, humanity was no longer scattered dust. It was shared history. "They're not soldiers," Carter told her. "No," she replied, glowing brighter. "They're the voice, and I am the amplifier." The stars listened. The galaxy trembled. The Council watched, terrified, because the past wasn't staying buried. It was building an army of the heart. Saverin stood on the Council's highest spire, watching the memory spiral burn across the galactic map. "It's spreading faster than predicted," a minister warned. "We must activate Soulfire." But Saverin hesitated. He'd felt it, too. A dream of an Earth sunrise, a mother's embrace. "Emotion doesn't die," he said slowly. "It returns." The others demanded action. One pressed the final key. "For order," she declared. But the system blinked, blocked. Carter's voice echoed through Council comms. "You taught us fear. We learned remembrance." The Soulfire failsafe had been rerouted. It is no longer a kill switch. Now, a flare. It launched into every corner of the galaxy, broadcasting one thing. "We are still here." On 1,000 worlds, lights turned skyward. The broken throne of power cracked. The echoes had taken root. The future was now haunted by the past, and it remembered everything. The location of Edenfall's core, the birthplace of the Soul Drive, was finally revealed. A hollow moon orbiting a black dwarf star. Carter, Faye, and the Echo Pilgrims arrived, engines silent. "This is where it began," Faye whispered, "where Earth encoded its soul into frequency." Inside, they found an ancient chamber of crystal nodes, still warm. The original Soul Drive pulsed, old, fractured, but alive. "If we anchor the spiral here," Harrow said, "it becomes permanent, memory, immortal." But the Council had followed them. Warships darkened the sky. Faye stood before the core, voice trembling. "They'll never let us finish this." Carter drew his pistol. "Then we hold the line." The heart of humanity had been found, and now it would be defended. The Council demanded surrender. Faye refused. She connected with the original Soul Drive. Her voice was magnified, transmitted on every frequency. "You tried to erase us, but you can't erase feeling." Ships across the galaxy stopped in orbit. Council officers paused, weeping silently. Old songs, forgotten griefs, and fragments of love surged back into alien minds. Even machines hesitated. "She's in their heads," Harrow said. "In their hearts." Carter helped stabilize the drive. "Power at 80%. One more push?" Faye opened the gates. A pulse spread from Edenfall, a final broadcast of Earth's fall, its dreams, its fire. The truth buried for 25,000 years now lit the stars. "We are more than memory," Faye whispered. "We are meaning." The spiral had become a storm, and it was beautiful. The Council struck. Dreadnoughts surrounded Edenfall, firing dampeners to silence the core. Pilgrims launched in skiffs, singing into the void. Carter led a zero-G defense, flak, bursting like starlight. "They want silence," he roared. "Then scream." Faye was levitating now, suspended in resonance. "They're inside me," she whispered. "All of them." Harrow overloaded the hull's reactors to power the pulse. "This'll cook us alive." Then we go remembered, Carter snapped. Inside the chamber, the soul drive cracked, but from it a shape emerged, holographic, radiant. A child, the same as Varel. She looked at Faye and said, "Are you ready to feel everything?" Faye nodded, then let the flood come. The spiral ignited in full. Faye's body dissolved into light, and her consciousness bonded with the soul net. The memory engine fused with Edenfall's core. Pilgrims across space screamed, not in pain, but released. The Council's ships buckled under the emotional force. Some turned, defecting mid-battle. Others simply stopped. "She's rewriting everyone," Harrow gasped. "Not with force, with belonging." Carter stood at the edge of the chamber, tears in his eyes. "You did it, Faye." A final whisper came across the bridge. "I am we, and we are not lost." Then silence. No explosion, just a light spreading in every direction. And Edenfall vanished. A cycle later, in the world of Layara, a child looked up at the stars and asked, "Why do I feel sad when I see that moon?" Her grandmother smiled. "That's Edenfall, the place where they taught the galaxy how to feel again." Across 1,000 systems, echoes remained, memories passed by instinct, emotion understood without language. The Council fell, fractured by empathy. New coalitions rose, built not on laws, but on legacy. Carter, scarred and older, walked a quiet world now, keeping watch. Harrow taught the next generation. And Faye lived on, in dreams, in moments of beauty, in every sudden tear without cause. Humanity had not vanished. It had become part of everything. The stars no longer forgot. The galaxy remembered. The end.